Welcome to our channel Study with AVAI. This channel is solely dedicated to B.Ed course structure. This course is beneficial for those students who wish to study B.Ed or currently pursuing B.Ed. Those who are new to this channel, please do like, comment, share and subscribe. So today in the lecture we will learn all these topics. Let's begin with our first topic. Meaning of secular values, secularism or secular humanism. Socialization refers to the declining influence of religion and religious values within a given culture. Secular humanism means loosely, a belief in human self-sufficiency. The term secularism was first used by the British writer George Jacob Holyoake in 1851. Although the term was new, the general notion of free thought on which it was based had existed throughout history. In political terms, secularism is a movement towards the separation of religion and government. This can refer to reduced ties between a government and a state religion, replacing laws based on scripture with civil laws, and eliminating discrimination on the basis of religion. This is said to add to democracy by protecting the rights of religious minorities. Modern democracies are generally recognized as secular. Secularism is a belief system that rejects religion or the belief that religion should not be part of the affairs of the state or part of public education. The principles of separation of church and state and keeping religion out of the public school system are examples of secularism. Moving on with features of secularism. 1. Separation of religion from state. The separation of religion and state is the foundation of secularism. It ensures that religious groups do not interfere in affairs of state, and makes sure the state does not interfere in religious affairs. 2. Secularism protects both believers and non-believers. Secularism seeks to ensure and protect freedom of religious belief and practice for all citizens. Secularism is not about curtailing religious freedom. It is about ensuring that the freedom of thought and conscience apply equally to all believers and non-believers alike. 3. Religious freedom. Secularism seeks to defend the absolute freedom of religious and other belief, and protect the right to manifest religious belief. Secularism ensures that the right of individuals to freedom of religion is always balanced by the right to be free from religion. 4. Secularism is about democracy and fairness. In a secular democracy, all citizens are equal before the law and parliament. No religious or political affiliation gives advantages or disadvantages, and religious believers are citizens with the same rights and obligations as anyone else. 5. Equal access to public services. We all share hospitals, schools, the police and the services of local authorities. It is essential that these public services are secular at the point of use so that no one is disadvantaged or denied access on grounds of religious belief for non-belief. All state-funded schools should be non-religious in character, with children being educated together regardless of their parents' religion. When a public body grants a control for the provision of services to an organization affiliated to a particular religion or belief, such services must be delivered in a neutral manner, with no attempt to promote the ideas of that faith group. 6. Secularism is not atheism. Atheism is a lack of belief in gods. Secularism simply provides a framework for a democratic society. Atheists have an obvious interest in supporting secularism, but secularism itself does not seek to challenge the tenets of any particular religion or belief, nor does it seek to impose atheism on anyone. Secularism is simply a framework for ensuring equality throughout society in politics, education, the law, elsewhere, for believers and non-believers alike. 7. Secularism protects free speech and expression. Religious people have the right to express their beliefs publicly, but so do those who oppose or question those beliefs. Religious beliefs, ideas and organizations must not enjoy privileged protection from the right to freedom of expression. In a democracy, all ideas and beliefs must be open to discussion. Individuals have rights, ideas do not. Secularism is the best chance we have to create a society in which people of all religions or none can live together fairly and peacefully. Moving on with action needed at the school level. There is no doubt that it is through the individual school that the system of education operates and achieves its goal. A system of education fails or succeeds to the extent the school under the system fails or succeeds in fulfilling their responsibilities. The school will have to be the nursery of the virtues and values of socialism, secularism and democracy. A school can convey attitudes and values to the students through three different ways. A. Direct teaching. B. Living and practicing the values and attitudes to be learned. C. Teachers become models embodying the desired attitudes and values. Moving on with characteristics of secular education. Characteristics of secular education. Secular education is identified with the following characteristics. I. Moral outlook. E. Development of wider vision. E. Pluralistic outlook. IV. Democratic values. V. Cultural development. V. Synthesis of spiritual and material. V. Humanitarianism. Education for secularism in India. Present education system in India promotes secular attitudes and values through its broad-based aims, curriculum, enlightened teachers and appropriate activities, progressivism, rationality, freedom from bigotry and equal respect for all religions. The following traits characterizes education for secularism in India. I. Secular aims. E. Democratic organization of educational institution. E. Multiple curriculums. IV. Science teaching. V. Enlightened teachers. The present Indian education system is trying to create a social climate in the country in which secular values are sought to be promoted effectively and enthusiastically. Moving on with reasons for imparting secular education. I. Secular education develops a moral outlook. E. Secular education helps in the development of liberal attitudes and values. E. It develops wider vision. IV. It develops an attitude of appreciation and understanding of others' point of view. V. It develops democratic values and humanistic outlook. V. Secular education synthesizes materialism and spiritualism. V. Secular education serves as an antidote to religious fanaticism and hatred. Moving on with promoting secularism through school programs. I. Celebrate important events. E. Youth festivals. E. Celebrate festivals like Onam, Christmas, Eid etc. IV. Conduct integration camps. V. Arrange seminars, talk about world peace, communal harmony. V. Discourses on religious values by religious leaders. V. Include information related to secularism. V. Teach lessons about great saints who sacrificed their lives for the cause of national or social well-being. The good elements of all religions should be taught to the students. Religious neutrality or secularism is a matter of attitude which can be developed in students by living and learning, by experiencing and realizing the truths of the religions. X. Teachers should work as living models or ideals whose objectives, attitudes and unbiased activity can be emulated by their students. This is more necessary when the society is threatened by narrow bigotry, religious fanaticism and blind superstition. Moving on with the meaning of human values. Meaning of human values. First of all, let us come to know what is meant by human values. Values are things that have an intrinsic worth in usefulness or importance to the possessor, or principles, standards or qualities considered worthwhile or desirable. Values constitute an important aspect of self-concept and serve as guiding principle. Less for an individual. Human values are the virtues that guide us to take into account the human element when one interacts with other human beings. They are the many positive dispositions that create bonds of humanity between people and thus have value for all of us as human beings. They are our strong positive feelings for the human essence of the other. It is both what we expect others to do to us and what we aim to give to other human beings. These human values have the effect of bonding, comforting, reassuring and procuring serenity. Human values are the foundation for any viable life within society. They build space for a drive, a movement towards one another, which leads to peace. Moving on with types of values. 1. Human values. Human value is like an axle of a wheel and other types of values are around it. Therefore, if an individual is educated in human values, learning of all other values becomes easier. While investigating human values, Dr. Gawande found out the following 7 human values through deductive and inductive method. The following values were selected in the seminar organized by Maharashtra State Education Institute, Aurangabad. I. Freedom. E. Sincerity. E. Dignity of labor. IV. Equality. V. Scientific vision. V. Cleanliness. V. Fraternity. V. Kindness towards animals. X. Nature law. X. Equality towards all religions. She. Fearlessness. Xi. Sportsman spirit. Xi. Respect to mother, father and teacher. 2. National values. NCERT suggested 83 human values and national or constitutional values. Each country has its own independent constitution in which specific values are included. They are called national values or constitutional values, e.g. secularism, democracy, socialism, equality, justice, freedom and fraternity. Social values. Each country preserves some values according to its culture and these values are preserved and protected, e.g. according to Dr. Chilan Pitti, self-control, universal brotherhood, honesty, respect and faith. Professional values. Each profession has its own independent values, e.g. teaching profession has the values, knowledge, trust, sincerity in profession, regularity and faith. Religious value. Each religion has got its independent status, principles and rules, e.g. Buddhism has got the values, wisdom, character, pity. Some values are common to all religions while some are attached to some particular religion. That would be the speciality of that religion. Aesthetic values. Literature and arts have got their fixed criteria and rules. They are investigated and then fixed. Value-based curriculum becomes ready when human values, national value and social values according to age groups are included in curriculum. Moving on with examples of human values. Human values include the following: I. Brotherhood, friendship, empathy, compassion, love. E. Openness, listening, welcoming, acceptance, recognition. E. Civility, respect, consideration. Appreciation, IV, honesty, fairness, loyalty, sharing, solidarity. V. The function of most of these basic values is to make it possible for every human to realize or maintain the very highest of most basic universal core values of life, love and happiness. V. Respect is one of the most important human values for establishing relations of peace, and yet it remains elusive. Its understanding varies according to age, child, teen, adult, to one's education and surrounding culture. It is better understood when combined with other values, a disposition that is deeper than civility, very close to consideration and approaching appreciation. Indeed, to respect someone, one must be able to appreciate some of his, her human qualities, even if one does not appreciate his, her opinions or past behavior. Moving on with difference between human values, ethical values and moral values. Difference between human values, ethical values and moral values. Ethical values are those which can command respectful behavior towards others, i.e. towards other human beings, without harming them. These can be applied to animal and plant life as well. Moral values are in fact the same, but today moralizing rhetoric is not well received. For this reason, some people refer to ethical values. However, most people seem more interested yet in human values. These are seen as much more positive, perhaps because we feel directly concerned. We ourselves have a strong desire to have others be human to us. These human, ethical and moral values are universal values, felt deep down inside each of us, our consciousness. They are also expressed formally in laws, constitutions and various international texts, declarations, conventions etc. asserting human rights. Moving on with democracy as a human value. Kothari Commission, 1964-66, was a strong supporter of the philosophy of democracy, which has its roots in Indian soil since a pretty long period. We don't want democracy only as a form of government, but we want it in the form of a way of living, as it is an important human value. Its ingredients are liberty, equality and fraternity, which are our life principles. Our constitution is based on these principles, and we have not borrowed these principles from any Western country. The word democracy is said to be derived from the Greek word demos and kratia, which respectively mean people and power, and therefore democratic power of people, i.e. government people, by the people and for the people. Dr. Ambedkar thought of democracy in the form of social democracy and way of living. That is the reason why our constitution is based on democracy. We have attached the greatest importance to democracy as a human value. Moving on with the role of schooling or educational institutions in inculcating human values. 1. Accountability. The children should be encouraged to be accountable for their own actions and should learn to respect and treat others kindly. 2. Role model. The teachers are the first role model to the children outside their family. When the children see the model showing concern for others, motivating them for their good deeds and cooperating and helpful with their academic issues, the children learn them by observing and imitating it with fellow peers. 3. Helping. The children are taught basic morals and values in school. They should be taught by emphasizing the ideas through many activities, stories and tales which will encourage them to engage in more helping behavior. 4. Appreciation. The teachers should appreciate the children for developing prosocial behavior, especially for any specific action they have done to help others. Values development is a continuous commutative and highly interdependent process touching all the aspects of personality. So that's all for this lecture. Hope you learned something new today. Keep subscribing, more interesting lectures are on the way. Thanks for watching. Take care.